Overstay my tourist visa. I don't extend. I don't know if you have extension. And I leave the country. What kind of trouble am I going to get in when they see I overstayed my tourist visa?
You will need to pay something. It's not so expensive. It's like, I don't know, the last time was for 20 days, 12,000 pesos. The problem is if you try to ask a renewal for 90 more days of visa, they will say no.
How have you dealt with the chaos of this country? The economy, the politics. I mean, your banks collapsed not even 20 years ago.
We adapt to it. We adapt to change. That's one thing that we have, like most of us have, because of course, like everything changes, like every minute.
You're about to embark on a journey, not just through space and time, but through the very fabric of human perception. Imagine a world where the familiar becomes strange, and the strange becomes familiar. A place where the boundaries of reality blur, and the only limit is your imagination. This is a voyage into the heart of the unknown, where every turn reveals a new perspective, and every story challenges what you thought you knew. Welcome to Bold Perceptions, where we explore the myriad ways people see the world and discover that sometimes the most extraordinary adventures lie just beyond the horizon of our own understanding.
Back in Bold in Bariloche. It's a little cold right now. We finished the summer season. I'm with two amigas. We actually met at Mundo Lingo?
Yeah.
Mundo Lingo. Usually I don't go to any of these type of things, but this time it turned out pretty good. We've had a decent relationship. We've traveled together. You guys have showed me around Buenos Aires, and also you are not only locals that know Argentina very well from Argentina, but you also run a business that deals with getting your residency, getting your citizenship. So you know all the details for foreigners coming to Argentina, not only to travel, but also live. So how about you guys introduce yourself?
Okay, I am Julieta. I work as a software engineer for one of the largest banks in the world, and we currently run a business together as well, helping citizenships, residents, and foreigners that want to come to Argentina. And we're actually in Patagonia, which is where I am from, so it's really good.
Hi, everyone. Nice to be here with you, Nick, and with you, Julieta. My name is Julieta. I'm a director of a lab studio who we make DNA residence visas and everything for foreign people. And now I'm Bariloche with Nick, with Julieta. Enjoy the time.
In the past few years, your business has taken off. A lot of people around the world have realized the Argentina residency is not too hard to get. Citizenship is very easy in Latin America. Birth tourism is very popular, and the Argentinos, they're inviting you to come to their country. So I got 20 questions here. I threw them through AI. We'll kind of go back and forth, but basically it's going to get the traveler or the person who wants to live in Argentina, the Yankee, the Gringo. How can they gel? How can they fit in? What can they get ready for coming down to this beautiful, amazing country, Argentina, right? All right, so the first one. What's one thing about Argentina that shocks every American or European when they first arrive?
I think you guys compare us a lot with Europe, actually. We are in Latin America. For us, we are completely like 100% Latin, although we do have a big part of our inheritance, like mostly Italian. So we might have more things from them, but we usually don't think about it like on our daily today basis. But you guys like came here and just be so shocked about it. I don't know, Holly, you have like any other comment?
The food, I think so. Other thing, we have similar food with Italian people, and we have a great meat too. And we join all together in tables in restaurant. That is good. I think so. The Patagonia is a really good place for Ian too. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. 100%. It feels very European. I've been to Buenos Aires and now Bariloche. Bariloche, not as much. I thought it was going to be the German haven, but it does feel more Indonesian, more Peruvian, Chilean from what I've seen. 2 days here. But yeah, it's a big shock for the American because obviously everything south of the U.S. border is Mexico. So we believe this. We got mate, we got everything. That's my cup too. My friend Martin, he gave me the authentic one made out of pumpkin. Mate and vino. Perfect, right? But yeah, it's a big shock for the American, maybe not necessarily the European. I was talking to Lattice Wandering Investor, this podcast up, and he said, A lot of Europeans prefer Colombia, Brazil, Mexico for a more authentic Latin America vibe compared down to here. They're like, damn, I feel like I'm kind of back at home and it's not really that exotic vacation they were looking for. How does the vibe of Buenos Aires compare to cities like New York or London for a foreigner? I know you two been to New York. I don't know about London, but compare it to maybe any big cities around the world.
Convenience. Like Buenos Aires has everything. We most of the people of the interior, there's like a phrase that we say, God's everywhere, but he is in Buenos Aires. Like we have everything there, like from bureaucracy or whatever you need just to run a business, you'll do it from Buenos Aires mostly. Or anything that you need, you can get it there.
Yeah, one, it's a massive city. Obviously, how many millions?
3 million.
Only 3?
Yeah, but we have more.
The metropolitan area, how big? How big?
Maybe. Yeah, 40 million, I think, Amba.
14?
14.
Yeah, 14 million. So it's massive. Most of everything you need, you can get there. Obviously, it's not like American type convenience, but it does feel like a big city in Europe and whatnot. Probably actually more bigger. Because if you go in the city center of an Italian city and you walk an hour, you start getting outside of any sort of metropolitan area. But in Buenos Aires, I mean, you could walk in Palermo, the main richer touristic neighborhoods for hours on end and not even leave them almost. So it's a massive city. I think it compares well. It was called the Paris of the South for a long, long time. So it's really like that European feel, but also built like a Latin America city with massive, skyscrapers everywhere, housing everywhere. What's the quirkiest Argentine habit that digital nomads, travelers, anybody need to wrap their heads around when they come here? So for me, obviously the mate is a cultural shock. I saw it in southern Brazil. Obviously my friend Martin drinking in Egypt. I thought you guys were dorky, but they drink it like it's a freaking religion, right? And it's good. I've been drinking a lot more. It's a different type of energy than coffee. You don't crash as much. So I do like it a lot. They don't like to work as much, okay? Stores are closed a lot, which gets very annoying, but it kind of reminds me of Italy. Those are two big things that are kind of like, whoa, we need to slow down on here. Do you have some?
What do you mean, like a storage closed up load?
The stores aren't open in the afternoon, or they're gone for vacation for 2 weeks, or they say they're open on Google Maps, but they're not.
Yeah, we do have that. But like if you're in Buenos Aires, there's something that we call horario corrido, which means like they are open like from 9 to 8 o'clock. But yeah, if you're like here, for instance, in Bariloche, you need to literally check on Google Maps. Because today is a holiday, most of them are actually closed, and they'll say that they are open, which they're obviously not. And also we have like nap time, so it's that at lunch break they actually close like for at least 2 hours. But that's something more like on the interior of Argentina that you can get used to once you live here. But from Buenos Aires, I don't think that we actually like have that.
Any other weird things that foreigners aren't used to when they come and live the Argentine lifestyle?
I assume the things are literally different than books. Like in books or in the law, you can see something, and that will be so different in the reality.
Okay.
Like you have say, oh, this is happening this way, and then you go and try, I don't know, open account in a bank account, and they will say, no, you cannot open without DNI. Oh, but I cannot have DNI if I not open a bank account. Okay. You are always trapped in that.
A very confusing bureaucracy. So if you're going to do any sort of living, residency, business, you better have someone that knows how to handle it on the ground. And look at this. We have someone, oh, wow. Okay, here we go. Is the late night dinner thing as brutal as it sounds, or do you just roll with it? It's terrible, okay? These people want to eat at 11 o'clock at night, go to the club at the start at 2 a.m. So they definitely eat later. You can still find places in Buenos Aires, especially the tourist areas, that will give you a dinner around 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. You know what I mean? So it's not everywhere. I assume here in these type of places, even Bariloche, famous tourist spot, it is. But what are your comments on that? Do the foreigner need to get used to the schedule, the sleep schedule of the Argentine?
Mostly in the interior, yes. Like I actually checked tomorrow. I think yesterday. Sorry, I think it was like 7 or more of the restaurants were actually closed. So if you guys like want to have dinner at 6, that like you'll have some places, but it won't be as easy as. Oh yeah, I was saying, mostly like in the interior. Like yesterday, I was like on Google Maps and trying to find a restaurant for us, and it was like 7 o'clock, and there wasn't many. But if you're in Buenos Aires, I think that's like better. But if you're like on the interior, like most of them actually opens since 8 o'clock, which is like pretty. Which is pretty early for us, actually. Like, yeah, as you said, we go at 9 as early. And if not, like most people have dinner at 10, which is like normal because we have dinner and then we just go to sleep. You guys like have, I don't know what you guys do like on the middle, but yeah.
Before you comment, cafes, like the good ones with the Wi-Fi, it's like 8:30. You know, you can't get down there at 7 o'clock. I find myself sleeping in more, which I don't like. Usually I'm like a 5 a.m. type of person, but here if you wake up at 5 a.m., like there's nothing outside going on unless they're just getting done with the partying. So yeah, you have to adapt a little bit to the schedule. Do you have comments on that?
No, I don't have comments. Not comments.
What's the most overhyped food here that locals secretly laugh at foreigners for loving? I think I could put it to the Don Julio, where this is a famous Argentine restaurant that everyone knows about. And we talk to the local people and they laugh and say, oh, there's better places than that. And it's overhyped and it's touristic. Is there any certain food or restaurants that you guys kind of make jokes about the foreigners for liking or going to?
I think I actually would recommend like Don Julio. Like, yeah, we know like it's trap for tourists, mostly not because the meat isn't good. I think it's actually good, but like prices, like they are like for tourists. But yeah, maybe there are like stands that we know that are really good, but you guys don't go because they are not as tourists. But we do have like many bodegones, which will be like restaurants with like more handmade food and so, which I'll actually recommend you to go.
Okay, here we go. This is a big question for a lot of people going down to Latin America. I've been totally shocked in Argentina. I've felt in danger 0 times. How do you dodge sketchy situations in neighborhoods when you're a wide-eyed gringo? Can you comment on how the gringo can stay safe?
I actually think that if you're gonna be like on most tourist parts, you'll be safe. Like you actually won't go into what we call bicha, which like is the synonym of favela in Brazil. You obviously won't go there.
Tourist areas are very safe, okay? Obviously, if you're going to free wheel your phone everywhere taking photos, maybe a moto guy will come and snatch it. I've had 0 issue walking around with a backpack, dressing very nice. I do it everywhere in Latin America, but I don't feel on edge, okay? And that's the big difference compared to Colombia, Peru, Brazil. Peru's pretty safe. Mexico. I think you should comment on getting robbed because you have. So what would you say to the gringo in that case? Were you just being stupid? What was the case?
Me getting robbed?
Yeah.
Okay, so I got robbed twice. I'm not 27. And actually, it has been like this year and 3 years ago. So most of my life, I haven't been robbed at all. Like until 25, I haven't. The first time it was because I mistakenly enter like 1 block away from a bicha, so I was obviously getting robbed. So that was the first time, and the second time it was at a parade that we have this year. And yeah, you at the parades you need to know that you need to go like normal appearance, and I was wearing like this color, the gold color, so it was like definitely like eye-catching. So yeah, like if you go like normally dressed to parades or something, nothing will ever happen to you. You just need to be careful as in Latin America, but you're pretty safe most of the time.
Yeah, not much worry at all. So even a gringo, if he walks off the wrong train station and enters a favela or whatever you called it, they could get got pretty quick, even if they're big or not a woman.
Yeah, I was with my mom, so it was like 2 women. But yeah, like these 3 little kids like started running into us, and we were like, we're fucked. And it was the case. So the guys there in the favela itself like tried to help us. They asked if we were like lost or whatever, and it was like we didn't have time to even like, I don't know, go to inside the house of a resident there. So we didn't have like any time at all to just run away of the situation. But most of the time you should be fine. Like I was entering a favela or a bicha that we call here. So, you know, that can happen.
Fake gun? They had a fake gun.
Oh yeah, and they have a gun, but thanks God it was a fake one. But we didn't know that like until it's like split into different like, ¿cómo se dice separar?
Split.
Sí, pero separar en partes. It's split in pieces. So yeah.
All right, what's the one Argentina phrase every traveler or nomad needs to nail to blend in a little, or something funny, something that you can say to local and they'll smile? What's something that I could say in Spanish, Argentine Spanish, it's different, that would make an impact?
Sure. Maestro. Or something like that.
Maestro. ¿Cuándo pedís la cuenta? Maybe, yeah. Maybe when you order food and are in a restaurant, you can say like, "Hey, maestro," and ask the bill. Yeah, the bill. That's something you can say.
Okay.
Never, because it's a treatment we have with the people here. Like it's a all way to talk with people, and it's respectful. But something you don't need to do is like say, "Hey, boludo!" Like it's like super fake, and we feel you are joking and not be serious. Serious? Yeah.
Boludo?
serious. Yeah. If you say boludo, like to people, they will be offended, or maybe don't offend, but maybe it's like, it's not so good.
Yeah, it depends on the context.
Yeah, it's like how you say amigo.
See, I say amigo a lot, yeah.
Yeah, that's,
That can be a little rude.
yeah, exactly. It's a little rude.
Okay.
Yeah, you can change. He calls all the time amigo, like people. We don't do that. Like we don't call like friends to someone that we randomly know. But you can call them like maestro or I don't know.
Yeah, maestro is good, like with other men, of course. Maestro is good with other men, of course, and it's like more comfortable for the people.
Okay, for the single men coming down here, can I go up to a girl on the street and say, "Hola, bonita, bonita, ¿cómo estás?" Will they laugh at me, or they be like, "Oh, hello"?
I told you several times not to do it, so you know my opinion on that one.
Have you seen it work?
I haven't seen it work.
Oh, really?
No, that's like it's not like completely unpolite, but it's like too direct. So
Depends of the context.
yeah, it just depends on the context. But we definitely don't say "hola bonito" like trying to like hit on someone. We just like say hi like normally, or maybe "hola, todo bien," which is like, "Hey, how are you doing?" or something like that. You can say.
Yeah, but okay, so if a gringo comes up to you and it's like, "Hola, bonita, hablo inglés," are you going to be receptive to him and just be like, "Oh, he's a foreigner. I can have a conversation on the street with him, help him out maybe. You know, maybe he is trying to get my number." But are you friendly to people on the street, especially foreigners, if they talk to you?
Yeah, I am, but I think so is more because we are an open country. We don't have problems with people coming from other places, and we are always like fine with people. I will do the same with an Argentinian person.
Yeah, I've had very good conversations talking to people on the street. No one just like, "Oh, you know, I don't want to talk to you." People have been very open. Many speak English. You know, it's really impressive, especially in Buenos Aires. But yeah, talk to people on the street, ask for, you know, questions. If you want to be a little flirt, many are receptive to it. You know, they say they're not, but they are nice people. Okay, do Argentines care if you're American, European, or just another loud tourist? I guess, you like tourists, okay, but what are some things that make you be like, "Damn, you need to go home, gringo"? Like what kind of attitude, or are they loud in the streets type of thing that you don't like?
I actually don't have like a bad thing to say. We do laugh. I do have something. We do laugh when like Americans come to Buenos Aires and they're just like dressed up if they're going to a safari, and it's just like, guys, this is a big city. Why are you dressed like if you're going to a safari? Like you're at 9 de Julio, like seeing the obelisco, like dressed up a safari. That doesn't make sense for us, and we do laugh at that. But I think like generally you're like pretty respectful for our place, our people. So yeah.
I need to make other comment. I don't know. I think so. No decimos nada.
Very open. Because you've dealt with many different cultures here. and everyone is pretty much welcome?
Yeah, everyone. We have maybe some problems with the economic, but we never have this problem about works or whatever. When people comes, we don't say, "Oh, go home" or whatever.
What are some funny cultural differences you've seen foreigners totally mess up on or botch? One, for sure, is the mate. Like if they pour you a mate and you don't finish it, if you give it back with water, they're like, "Oh my God, what are you doing?" I've gotten that one before. Other cultural differences.
With mate, you don't do it.
Oh, you don't do this with the mate? There's a lot of rules with this thing. There's too many rules with the ritual. But what things do you see the foreigner totally, okay, wow, he doesn't know our culture at all and he should learn better?
No sé qué decir con esto.
A big shock. I think so. We are like European culture and Latin American culture because we are in Latin America. And for that, I feel we don't have a big shock with people. For that, it's not, oh, you don't do it that. It's more like, I want to share with you. I want to share with you my culture. And for that, I never will say, don't do it. If not more, hey, you can do it in this way. You need to take it. And I don't know. We try to all the people feel welcome.
I guess one thing is if you start saying, oh, you guys are Latinos and you're just like Brazil and Colombia, some Argentines are like, no, we're European. What are you talking about? Like, and they get very defensive and prideful. That you start talking about soccer, and if they're not good or you like Ronaldo and those type of people, they'll start firing back because Messi's like a god here. Maradona too. Yeah, like they're like big time. So I think the soccer, the mate, and telling them they're just like Mexicans or something like that will get people a little fired up. How does the cost of living stack up for digital nomad versus back home? Obviously, right now the economy is a whirlwind, so it's not as cheap as it was like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, where people were getting steak dinners for $5 a pop. Now it's like I've said, it's like Munich prices. I was in Munich for most of 2024. Same prices besides accommodation in Uber. You guys were just in the United States. Can you tell us the price differences from there to here?
Yeah, of course, there are some things that are still like cheaper, way cheaper in America, like for instance, technology or even clothing, which is super expensive. I think like you've seen the clothes prices and they are like just blow up your mind for you, but we're just like used to it. But yeah, in general, like in Argentina, and this time it's quite expensive, even for us. But if you're like earning in euros, dollars, or whatever, you can have like a pretty decent life here. And it's still cheap, like compared to your like home country. So if you're earning dollars, definitely you should come to Argentina.
I think so. The food and Ubers maybe sometimes can be more or less in US than in Argentina. Some ones. But you have more options. And for that, we get expensive things when you go to a restaurant. The last year was less. And in 2023 was really better if you have dollars in Argentina. But now it's like the salaries in Argentina come bigger and a little bigger, not so much.
I don't know. It's definitely not for a lot of Europeans, even Southern Europeans. I don't know how well they would do down here. Obviously, their lifestyle is different. They cook a lot. They do that. But you're not going to be big balling as you would in Colombia or Brazil necessarily with your 2,500 euro a month salary remote work, right? I would be looking to make some decent money to come down here. Again, the accommodation super cheap. I think Ubers are really cheap. If you like meat, you like vino, okay, you're doing good. Obviously, don't buy electronics here. Clothing, like we talked about, is very tough. But if you get in the groove, it's not as shocking. When I first came here, I go to the cafe in Palermo and I'm like, what the hell? This cappuccino is more than my local cafe in the richest neighborhood in Lille I was staying. And then Munich, which is the richest city in Germany. I was like, this is wild. I mean, you're not making nowhere near what the Munich people are making, right? But if you get to an idea and how to move, how to shake, then it turns out just fine. But yeah, it's definitely like a merry-go-round when you go to certain countries like this with the isolationist economies, and you need to be aware of that. But still, if you're smart, you know how to travel. I was talking to Jack, popped the podcast up. He's spending like $1,500 a month, and he's living pretty damn good. He found a nice spot, and he knows how to move. But I would be looking, if you want to live decent, at least spend $3,000-4,000 a month. Okay. How reliable is the internet for remote workers, or am I screwed outside the big cities? We're dealing with it right now. This place got like 4 megabytes, whatever, download speed. But then my friend Zach, he went to a new place and it's 90. So I guess it depends. I always message your person beforehand. Buenos Aires, not that bad. Cafes have been decent. My apartment is good. It doesn't like go off and on that much. Then again, your guys' place had the electricity thing, which is a really nice place. I don't know if it was like shedding or what it was, but overall, speak to the internet. You guys both work online mostly.
Yeah, mostly on interiors. You need to check like prior because we have like 10 megas. Like that's not good at all. So obviously you need to check prior to the place you're staying how good the internet is. But in Buenos Aires, you shouldn't have like any problem at all. Even in Cordoba or Rosario, like bigger cities, it's good because we have like many options. Here, I think we have only 2 options. So you obviously need to check which is the one that you're getting. And also like in remote areas, like now that we have Starlink, it's... Yeah, well, even on the bus, we had all Wi-Fi the whole bus, which that wasn't normal at all.
15 hours across Argentina.
And we had Wi-Fi. That was really good. And I actually didn't think that was happening already.
Claro works a lot of different places. That's the phone service I have, so you can always hotspot. I think it's 25 gigabytes for $17 for foreigners. Not bad at all. What's the most bizarre Argentine rule or law that trips up nomads and expats? For me, I haven't really dealt with any weird laws and I had to do this or that because I'm not doing any paperwork or renting long term, or like laws, like I can drink on the street or there's something, really odd or off. But you've dealt with a lot of it, right? What's something that is very bizarre?
Okay, like I say before, one thing the nomads get hit. How you say that? One thing we have is in the migratory process, when the nomads come say, oh, I want to transfer my money from US to Argentina for prove my incomes. And then the reality is you go to a bank with your passport, like in the law say, and they will say, no, I will not open this account. And migratory service asks you have a bank account. Then you need to fight with them with your precariat, maybe open a monotributo for pay taxes in Argentina. And when you have your banking account, they will say, okay, you cannot transfer dollars from US to Argentina directly. You need to transfer dollars from Western Union to Argentina. Take the money in person in literally a street.
And in pesos.
Yeah, and in pesos, and go to the bank, deposits, take that ticket and go to migratory service. It's like whole... How you say? Circle? Yeah, it's a whole circle and it's really inefficient. It's literally like that.
We're talking about migration, and this is for get the rentist visa, right? And move your money down here. You have to go through a whole loophole and all these weird things. It's totally legal, but the inefficiency is wild because they've always protected their currency. They've not let it free floated. So they've had like black markets, blue markets. Now with Malay, you can hate them or love them, but basically the blue black is almost similar, right? $1 is 1,200 or 1,000, even though they say that's not the correct rate and they're still playing games with it. But yeah, like bringing money down here, getting the rentist visa, which you need to get residency, is a bitch from what I've heard, listening to you guys a lot. How do you build a group here, a friend group with locals or expats without looking like a desperate outsider? For one, we went to Mundo Lingo and we met. I saw a lot of people talking and exchanging information, connecting. Like I said before, I talk to people on the street and they're more than open. You get your number, exchange stuff. It's not quite like Brazil, where all of a sudden they invite you to a party right away necessarily. But you keep talking to them and then, we give you advice. You guys gave me a ton of advice the first time we met. Send me a message, go here, do this, etc. What would you recommend to the foreigner of how to get into a social group down in Argentina?
I think so. If you are respectful and go and talk about, I don't know, something interesting, or you ask, hey, how I can do this, or where I can go to eat something, a restaurant, a party, they will be open. Like that.
Yeah, but how do you get in really friendly with them, where they're going to invite you to some, cool event, or they say, hey, we want to go to this area with you? What is your suggestion for that solo traveler type person?
Well, yeah, language exchange are a pretty good option. Like we met through Date, and I think like most of us are like who goes there like are pretty open to foreigners and so. And if you guys need like any recommendation, as you said, we'll probably give it to you like right away. So yeah, probably languages exchanges. We have now Mundolingo, Club del Mate. So if you want to get more local, drink some mate and just chat, you can go there too.
There's been talk, okay, for dudes that come down here that want to date, that it's very difficult for them online. Okay, have you guys experienced this, noticed this, that the foreigner that comes down here, like in Colombia and Brazil, oh my God, let's hang out. Yes, the woman wants to hang out like crazy. It seems like it's a little more challenging for the men here in that aspect. It's relating to, you know, finding relationships and whatnot. What would you say to that?
I think so, because in Argentina we normally take longer for go out. It's not like for you or whatever person is from other countries, not for Argentinian men too. We are more like, oh, we can go for a drink or maybe take a merienda, a coffee in the afternoon and talk. We talk a lot. And the women like to talk and be listen and whatever. But the point is, it's not normal say, oh, come out, go to this party and drink a lot. We don't have that type of life.
Extroversion. You have comments on that? For men, help them out?
Yeah, maybe it's not like a straight up. So if you're going to, I don't know, in Tinder and say someone, hey, let's go out. We all definitely are not going to respond to you, although we might want actually to go out with you, which doesn't make any sense at all, I know. But yeah, you just like need a bit of conversation because before you get to the time to, oh, let's meet like in reality.
Do you have tips for that? Because I've showed you guys and I've told you, I just say, hey, I just moved to this city. You're cute. Let's get a drink. Oh, that was fast. That's what they say. And then I give them my WhatsApp number. Boom, we schedule some stuff. And the flake rate is not terrible. I met a lot of good people, talked to people, had dates. But it's not usually the case. I think it's because I lived in Europe for so long. So I know kind of how to date European women, how to talk to them compared to like Latinas in Brazil and Colombia where it's just right out the gate. Yeah, let's meet, you know, Hakuna Matata. So what more tips would you give for that dude that's coming down here? You know, not a dude that just wants to have sex with every girl and the passport bro, all that kind of stuff. But, you know, meet someone nice and join a group and, you know, have a little community in that aspect.
Just have a good conversation, like had a good conversation and then just ask this girl or whatever, like to go out and just be nice. I mean, we're pretty open. So if you're having like a good conversation, like in person, you're probably can see that girl.
What about the clubs? Is that a good idea?
I think clubs are more like a one thing, like one night thing. But yeah, also like in clubs, if you have like a good conversation with a guy, you're probably like share your Instagram and just talk over Instagram and then just meet again. So yeah.
Do they go home? Like, is it normal? You meet someone, you have fun, go home?
I think if I'm kind of.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, depends. Not the most normal thing.
More comments on this or no?
No, I will.
What's the deal with the exchange rate chaos? How does it affect the nomads, travelers? Again, it's changed a lot. Like that's one reason I didn't come down here when it was super crazy because I had to go exchange money all the time. I couldn't use my credit card because it would give me like 50%. Now I can use my credit card basically everywhere, which is very nice in Argentina. Like I guess before it wasn't the case. Besides the damn Chinese stores, the Asian shops in Buenos Aires, if you say credit, they say no, cash or debit, because there's like a little fee they have to take on, but also I guess they don't get their money for 2 weeks and they're so used to the money going crazy and they're pricks. Sorry, Chinese people. I have good Chinese friends, but when they do business around the world, it's tough to shop with there. So I don't try to shop at the Asian spots, even though they're the most cheap places in Buenos Aires. But the exchange rate is chill. There's not much to worry about. Use your credit card, Hakuna Matata. Okay, this is a good question because I might need it soon. I've been trouble in Buenos Aires and Argentina. How does the healthcare work for foreigners staying months versus settling down? Okay, overall, the healthcare for us, even if we're not, have a residency card or we're not on insurance, Is it tough? Go through both aspects for me. If we have it or if we don't have it.
About healthcare, for the most, you need a precariat list. You need to show them you start your process for resident. The precariat is the first document you obtain when you start the process, and it's like, okay, with that precariat you can obtain a quill. With the quill you can contract security care. Hire a security care. But if not, they will say no. The most common is they say, if you pay, they will say no. Yeah, the most common is they say no. For the women's come birth here, they sometimes pay the whole clinic and pay something more for have a sus medical, I don't want to say March.
Insurance.
Yeah, you can obtain insurance, but they will charge a lot. And it's very difficult. Yeah, it's a long process. Maybe you will have already your child here and don't have any security care.
Yeah, you're not going to get much free healthcare unless maybe you can talk about emergency room. If you go to the emergency area, maybe. But I looked into some stuff because usually you do medical tourism in Latin America. Dirt cheap in Mexico, Colombia, Brazil, everywhere. Obviously, the public stuff, it can be free even for foreigners. I had a story in Colombia where I had a crazy amount of stuff done on me in the emergency room and I didn't pay a dime. So thank you, Colombia. But yeah, you're going to have to pay private. And private's not cheap. No, compared to Mexico and Colombia, you can pay someone $20 to do whatever you want to you. But
actually, most of us have insurance, so and we do have public healthcare, which is pretty decent. It's pretty good, and it's one of our pillars in Argentina, public education, public healthcare. But if you're just a foreigner and you don't have a security number that we call quill, I think that's pretty difficult. So you're not even a resident. How you're gonna prove that if they ask for information or so? But yeah, private is pretty expensive if you don't have an insurance.
Wait, so the public too is not free for the traveler?
No, yes.
Yeah, it is. There's some things going on in Argentina that they actually want to charge foreigners or not resident people, but it was before this government, it was 100% free. There are some places, some provinces, I think it was Salta, for instance, that they are now charging Bolivian people. Because we're having this batch of things, so we are just cutting what we don't want to.
What's that much though? So if I want to go get an X-ray for free for the public thing, do I have to wait a long time? Can I just go there right now? What's the story?
Yeah, exactly. You need to wait a long time. The
How long?
appointment is 2-3 months maybe.
Okay.
But you can, if you have some insurance or something, I don't know, a car crash or whatever, they will attend you and they will not charge anything. And it's pretty good. The problem now is we have a new law. They can charge to foreigners.
Okay, but hold on. Let me let's just say I'm feeling a little off and I want to get a blood test to check where my levels are off or whatever. How long would that process take for me to go to the public hospital to get it?
Let's start from the beginning. Most of the people complain, if you want to take an appointment, you have to be there at 4 a.m. because they have I don't know, they just give 30 appointments per day. So you need to be there really early. And we know that because we have people that we're really, ¿cómo se dice cercana? Tipo Mirna. Close people that we have that only use public health care. They have to be there at 4 a.m. So you'll definitely get an appointment maybe in that month or in a month. But if you want to do a blood test, I actually we were in this lab and I asked, and it was $500 the blood test that I took. It was completely free for me because of my workplace insurance. But if you have to pay that private, that was a lot of money.
Wait, no. You talked about for the Argentine person that wants to get an appointment. They go there 4 a.m. What if I, tomorrow, was damn, I don't feel well. I want to go here and get my blood checked. I can do it?
Yeah, you can do it for sure directly. And you go to a guardia? How do you say that? Guardia? Emergency.
Oh, you do an emergency.
Yeah, you go to emergency, they will take your blood test and everything, and they will in your email in a few hours. That's happened for everyone, like Argentinian or not.
Okay. Interesting. But yeah, get on the insurance. Otherwise, it's a little challenging. What's the biggest residency mistake that even seasoned travelers make? You're used to this, okay?
Yeah.
What's the biggest one?
I think so. The most common is don't take any document with you.
Yeah.
Like you come to Argentina like a tourist, and in the mail you say, "Oh, I want to stay," and then you need to ask your mother, your father, your cousin in US, "Oh, please take my criminal records." US take like FBI take like longer. 2 months, 3 months, forget your criminal records, and in that moment you are illegal resident in Argentina. But it's not a problem, it's a regular resident in Argentina because your tourist time ends, and you can start the process. The other thing is don't know what kind of process start and choose one whatever, like, oh, I want to be a student here, and choose a college is not inscription in migratory service, and for that they cannot deliver to you the documents you need to prove you're resident, and for that you will get out. ¿Podemos reformularlo?
She wants to do it again.
That was really good. Hold on. Okay, you said one thing. If I overstay my tourist visa in some countries, I mean, shit, in Asia, you can get arrested and be in big trouble. In Argentina, is that big of a deal? If I overstay, I can still become legal, get my residency, and not go to prison?
Yeah, if you are from a country don't need visa for come here, like you don't ask a tourist visa for come here, and you can only, like US, you come and you stay. You stay like a tourist, and it's the most important thing is you don't start the process without all the documents. It's better if you stay in a regular state. Like, it's not illegal. It's the 90 days you have first stay like tourist, and you have, 20, 30 days more like irregular, and then you start your process and you will obtain the DNI without any problem. But don't start the process without all the documents.
Okay, but hold on. What if I overstay my tourist visa? I don't extend. I don't know if you have extension, like Brazil, Colombia does. And I leave the country. What kind of trouble am I going to get in when they see I overstayed my tourist visa?
You will need to pay something.
Okay.
It's not so expensive. It's like, the last time was for 20 days, 12 pesos,
12,000.
12,000 pesos. It's not so expensive. The problem is if you try to ask a renewal for 90 more days of visa, they will say no.
After you overstayed?
Yeah. If you ask more days, they always say no, and you will start a process like for 2-3 years without any DNI, any resolution, and they will ask you leave the country. For that is not an option. Ask more time. You need only to stay in a regular time or leave after that or start the process.
Okay, so yeah, what happens if I leave after 90 days, they're mad at me, and then I come back 6 months later? Will they not let me do the process for residency as easy, or no, it's fine?
No, you can do it. You can start the process when you come back. But you need to pay that check. Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
Okay, you were talking about different type of residency visas. So was there student, rentista? What about if I buy real estate? Do I get it? Gonna go through what I can do to be a permanent resident here, the different ones.
We don't have like an investment visa. If you research in Google, you will find we have one, but really don't exist. Then you go to migratory service, they will see, oh, that is not available. It's in the law, yeah, but we don't have any rule about that. And for that, you cannot invest in something and stay. Okay, you need to choose. The most common is make a Spanish course. And with that, yeah, you can stay 1 year. Renew it for other year more, and then make the citizenship or the permanent resident. The other one is the rentist, but the most the most people try to do it with the documents from work, and that is not possible. You need to have you need to have a house, put the house in rent, make a contract, apostille, and they take that documents here.
Have a house in your country that you are renting out,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, exactly. It's in a different country. It's not necessary in the
Any country.
Any country. You can have a home, I don't know, in a different country you born, but you need to have a contract, a real person live there, and take all the documents, translate. And then you need to show the government here you have $100 per month for rent. $1,000 per month. Yeah.
So these are the two main ones. Learn Spanish at a school, be a student, or this rentista visa where you're renting out your property back home.
Yeah, exactly. The student is more easy because you can only go one time a week to a student in presently, or you can take a virtual course, but from Buenos Aires. Okay, the principal school is in Buenos Aires, and you can travel around Argentina, and with that have your resident and obtain a DNI. The other option we have is like a digital nom. The problem is only a visa for 6 months, and you don't obtain a DNI.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have comments on that? Either? Did really good. Good job. She's all nervous about her English, but she speaks fine. Couple more things. Okay, what's your best tip for a nomad or soon-to-be resident before they land in Argentina?
Yeah, I think you already mentioned, like, bring your documents, guys, if you want to start your residency here. Like, most of our clients, it's like the first things that we tell them, that bring all the stuff, because it's not the same to, like, get criminal records from here in Argentina that, I don't know, just ask them in an office, like presidential office, back home. So yeah, bring your documents.
Not just this kind of stuff, but overall, lifestyle, cultural,
Okay.
a big tip?
I think so. Planning is good to have a small planning about what you want to do in Argentina, and then get explore. And be open to the change. If something change, you need to relax and say, okay, this will be resolved in sooner. Because in Argentina, always is changing. And if you have this box and you try only make this, you will be super stressful. It's the best.
This is a great point, and I'm fascinated talking to different Argentine people, is how have you dealt with the chaos of this country? The economy, the politics. I mean, your banks collapsed not even 20 years ago. It's a lot of chaos. How do you guys deal with this? I know you guys have the most therapists per capita in the world, so maybe that's why. But other reasons, how?
We do like therapy. No, we adapt to it. We adapt to change. That's one thing that we have, like most of us have, because you of course, like everything changes like every minute. It's not even like it changes all the time. So yeah, we should adapt quickly to the situations because we are used to it.
Tell me about that therapy thing, though. Why do the Argentines have per capita the most psychologists since they're born? Like 6 years old, do you guys go talk to someone? Is it because you are mentally ill? Or is it because what I heard is that it's part of your culture to talk to someone that's not like part of your family, be able to freely speak? Can you expand on that therapy topic that everyone talks about?
I think so. It's because we always know since we are child, someone go to a psychologist, and it's super common here. No one will say you have a work and you go to your boss and say, hey, today I have my appointment with my psychologist, and they will say, oh, totally fine, take the afternoon, I don't know, or take the morning, because it's cultural. For us, it's good. Take care about how you say it?
Mental health.
Yeah, for mental health, it's something good. And I think so in other countries, they say, no, you are a crazy person. I don't want you work in my company. You will have problems, or I don't know.
But do you think overall, you guys have traveled and on social media, that you guys have more issues upstairs or no?
In Argentina, you mean?
The Argentine people, yeah.
No, I think it's not that we have like issues or like we should think that it's good to go to a therapist. Like it's you're doing like inside work, so it's like good. It's like you're trying to figure your shit out. So it's like it's the completely opposite. It's like you're actually caring about your healthcare. It's maybe there's some skeptical thing about, not skeptical, it's the word, but if you go to a psychiatrist, it's not that good if you say like publicly in a workplace.
Psychiatrists compared to a therapist. Okay.
Yeah, compared to therapists. But for like therapy itself, it's really good. It's you're doing like you're trying to improve yourself. So yeah.
Like it's like the gym for the brain. Okay.
Yeah, it's the same.
But overall, because you've dealt with a lot of different cultures, okay, you too, in this business, you've traveled. Do you think on average, the average Argentine is above or below the happiness level of the rest of the world?
I don't know. I think so. We are in the middle because we are always worried about something. We cannot say, I'm totally happy. When I go to Brazil, I always say, oh my God, I need to live here because all the people is working out, is go to the beach and you say the face and I'm super happy. In Argentina, it's like someone will have problem with banks, someone will have problem with, I don't know, the workers, the employees, the taxes. Always is something inside your brain say, oh, I'm worried about that. And for that is a middle and stay in the middle. You know, I don't know if in one moment you will say, this is the most happy moment in my life.
I'm going to ask you something, but relating to the Brazil topic, I think a lot of time that's a facade, okay? They seem like the most happy people in the world, the Kuna Matata, but beleza, there's some deeper things going on there. And if you live there, you'll totally understand what I'm talking about. Do you think there's an identity crisis in Argentina with you guys? Because you're very different from the rest of Latin America. Like I used to think, because I lived in Playa del Carmen for a while in Mexico, there's a lot of the Argentines there, and they were a little cuckoo. And the Mexicans said, these people, they act like they're Europeans and they act like they're so cool, but they're crazy, right? I think there comes a point where there is an identity crisis here, because you feel European, you look European, you act very European, but you live in the wild world, which I love, of Latin America.
I don't think I agree with your point. Like, I don't think like we have like an identity crisis. We do, like as I said before, we adapt quickly to changes. So maybe it's different for foreigners that come here and don't understand how we work. We sometimes don't know what we're doing, like, because everything changes all the time. But no sé qué decir.
I think so. It's more something happened to the people who come to Argentina and try to put us in a casilla. How do you say casilla?
Box.
In a box. And we are not in a box. Because, yeah, maybe I look like that Latin America, but I think so. My brain is... No puedo decir que mi cerebro, no. Yeah. I think so. I don't know, my view of the life maybe is different than the person who born in, I don't know, Brazil and from of the beach. It's more like someone born, I don't know, in New York and always you see a change of the state in the water or whatever. And for that is something you try to do it with us, put in a box, and we are not in a box. It's like different.
Keep going, this is good. What are the differences between the Argentines and the Southern Europeans?
Many things, like we are third world still. So we have like the thing with bureaucracy. I don't know, no sé qué decir.
With Europeans,
Yeah.
I work with the East European, Russian, Ukrainian, I don't know, Republic Czech, Czech Republic people, and I think so. They are more stable. Okay, they are literally more organized. They make me be better in that point, and that is because their countries are more organized. I think so. We have this crazy thing changing always in Argentina, and for that we can move into one point to other one, and that is the most different we have.
Are you good?
Yeah, but I'm just...
You're fine, you're fine. A great topic. What do you think of the American? Your stereotype, okay? What you see on social media when you went there, you visited, hanging around me, hanging around my friend. What is your honest stereotype of the American people? Notice I said the American people, not the Americas, the American. They don't like that.
Yeah, I just say a bunch of time American. I don't feel good saying that. We are all American. But no, I think like the prejudice that we have is you guys like are like really working people, and even though like if you come from a small town or whatever, you're gonna like figure your way out, like I don't know, to be a businessman or something like that. So yeah, working people, you might be a little stubborn or too much, actually. But yeah, my brain.
Stupid?
No.
Ignorant?
No.
Think we're the best? You don't think that?
I think so, maybe in a stereotype view. The people is more like, oh, America is the best, like America. And don't say American of the North. They say American, you are not America. You are like a part of, a small part, really, of America. And the other thing is, they sometimes don't know about what they are talking, but they will try to convince you they know about that subject. And it's really weird, but maybe they try to convince you you are making mate in the wrong way. And you say,
You
like,
start thinking maybe, right?
yeah, exactly. And I say, but I do it from 2 years old. And it's something so crazy.
American boys. I'm not sure if you guys have dated American guys or whatnot, but what is your thoughts about them?
I think so. They have a big...
Oh, my bad. And overall, the Argentine woman perception of them. So not just you, but your friends and whatnot.
Okay. I think so. They have this view about the Latin American lady. And it's literally some different in Argentina in the point... sometimes I say they make a surprise face when we try to pay the bill in a restaurant. For they is, oh, because I don't know if something in American women's or in other countries of Latin America, but we try to pay all our things and we try to always work and have a good work, like a good job, really. And that is a thing they see in us is different. The other thing I see in them is like they always a little worry about the world, about the work and what they do in his life.
That's a great point, though. Dating here, like they'll have girls say, "No, I'll take my own Uber, or I'll get my bus here," or they'll try to throw money on the table for the dinner. So a lot different than the rest of Latin America, where they expect the man to be the man, very traditional. I can see the feminism. It's a very big stereotype about Argentina is you guys are crazy feminists with the bangs cut, and then the protests. Do you see those protests where they show their boobs everywhere and it's wild? But do you have comments on that topic we were just talking about? Let's drink the mate. See, you gotta get the mate going. I stick to the vino at night. I can't drink the mate this late.
I do have one thing regarding dates. So this guy just asked me out for drinks. And for me, like going out for drinks, like the actual translation is tomar algo, which we say like drink something. But drink something, that includes food. So when I arrived to the place, he was like, oh, I didn't know you were going to eat. And it was like 9 o'clock of the night. And I was like, of course I'm going to have like dinner. And I thought this was dinner and it's not actually only drinks. So maybe there are some difference like in dating and stuff, but surely good. Like if you treat women nicely, they'll treat you nice as well.
Okay, besides Argentine men, if there's one nationality the Argentine woman like the best, what do you think it is? Just say it. Which one is the best overall that you guys think?
For women or for men?
The men.
The men?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's the same for me. I cannot say one nationality. I think so we have so many things in common with European persons because they are more like us in some points, like this point about the women. We are literally so feminist, but we still care about the other person. Like we try to, they feel good, they feel care, they feel for us that they are important, but it's important they don't try to we left for works or shops, or we only take care of the homes. And that's happened with other Latin America countries. For that, I think so Europeans, I don't know, American maybe too. The most important thing is you let the woman have his own life, his own shop, his own time, and at the same time be part of your day.
Last one, unless I think of something more better. And be honest, okay? So, Malay. There's a lot of changes here, okay? And online, there's a lot of people, mucho gracias, that like Malay. They like the libertarian. They think he's a character. They think he's going to change Argentina. Because let's be honest, the last 70 years, you guys have had a rocky past. You were one of the richest countries in the world, top 5, I think, in the 30s. And ever since then, it's been a little chaotic. But tell me your guys' opinion, and obviously state where your stance is beforehand. Don't just, act like you're every Argentine, because it's like 50-50 right now, no?
Yeah, like if you got 2 people on the street, they probably voted for Milei, or they really like Cristina, or like Peronism in general. So there's this one thing that maybe I think most of us can agree, that we agree on the economic side of Milei, but most of us don't like his social part or like cultural part. Like this weekend they fire up like so many people were como verga se dice, personas del estado, government employees, like were fired like 1,000. So that's actually not good. And that's why we also have like so many manifestations since Milei was like protest manifestations, like parades against Milei since he came up on the government.
About that, I think so in America, is alone is in part trying to do the same with the employees of the government, but in a different way, because I know they will pay for 2 years for the people who left the work. And here we don't have any plan for that people. They receive an email from 12 in the night, and the next Monday they will not go to work, and they will not receive any, because they are contracts, and the contract here was for 1 year, and when the year ends, you don't have anything.
Benefits.
Exactly, any benefits, any payment, only the month you work or the days. For that is more disorganized. The economy is desestabilizar.
Stable.
Yeah, the economy is unstable, because you have more people in the streets without any work, without any company who can take them immediately. And yeah, that is a big problem. And the other problem is they will say they will uncharge taxes, and we don't see that. I have a company, and the taxes are more and more and more and more. It's not something we are seeing, and we are not making more money, because we need to subir los sueldos. We need to hire the salaries for people can live, and we cannot translate that to the cost, because no, we cannot. We are not. I think Milei is not doing in this moment good in the economy and good in the society.
He's raising taxes, which I think he's totally against. That's crazy. But there's no social security here when you retire from a business.
It depends. If you are, if you work for a company and you are registered, which is actually not the case for most people, because they are paid like
under the table.
Yeah, under the table.
What percentage are registered?
I think it depends. It really depends. No sé.
60%.
We'll find that, but anyway.
So if you're registered, you'll have like a retirement, which we call jubilación. But it's not that, like, I think like the minimum, it's like on $200
a month.
200. Which
$200 or 2,000?
No, 200,000 pesos.
How do they survive on that?
I don't know. If you are registered, which is not the case for like 100% of Argentina who work through a company, you will have like a retirement. I think the minimal wage, or not the wage, but the retirement itself is like 200 or 300 pesos, dollars, which you obviously need to have like a backup plan because you can't survive with $300. No sé qué más decir. My brain just about.
But it's tough to retire unless you have saved up for a while or you have kids probably taking care of you. That's why a lot of people live together maybe, or live out in the village, have their home paid off and eat the cows they shoot and kill. Do you have final comments? Oh yeah, we need to pitch the services. We'll put this before here too. So what exactly do you do, your company?
Okay, our company is in this moment making citizenship for 300 people, and we make in the past 3 years 100, 400, how you say that? In the past 4 years was 400 people getting the resident and then the citizenship. The most important thing is for us is start the process with the people when they come and maybe have a meeting or two before they come to Argentina. And that's it. I don't know what to say.
Helps you get residency, citizenship, take care of you, Hakuna Matata. So put all their links here and let's enjoy Barloche. Ciao, ciao. Live bold.